Hi everyone, and welcome to Moonstone Home. My name is Tommy. You can find me on Instagram as DynamiteTrujillo. Welcome to my Ask Me Anything video. I put up a post in my Instagram stories last week asking you to ask me anything you wanted about home stuff, kid stuff, life stuff, anything like that, food, stuff like that. So I have got all of your questions on my phone. We'll see how many of them I can get through. Thank you so much for joining me. If you would like, please feel free to like this video and subscribe if you end up liking it. I guess you might not know yet if you like it or not right now. Okay, let's turn my notifications off so you don't hear my beeps. Let's get started. Oh, I've got River sleeping on me today, but I think he should be pretty cool. Hi, River. How you doing? I don't know if you can hear him, but he's breathing very loud. He's a very loud sleeper, this one. I can't wait to get him out of my room. Okay, anyway. First question. When do you plan to move Lucy out of a sleep sack? So Lucy is my daughter who's going to be 3 years old in a couple weeks. And right now she sleeps in a toddler bed. It's her crib that got converted into a toddler bed by taking one whole railing off and putting on like a little half or quarter railing so that she can get in and out by herself. We still have her in a sleep sack, which is essentially like a sleeping bag with armholes that you zip up. So it's so that she doesn't have to use blankets or pillows because you know, babies can't use blankets and pillows. So she's just been in one of those ever since we stopped swaddling her when she started to roll over at like however many months she started to roll over. And she's almost 3 now and she's still using a sleep sack. But we have purchased her a bed. So we just got her first like real grown-up bed. It's a twin. And we got it on Amazon on Prime Day, and it's still in the garage right now needing to be set up. And we plan on doing that in the next like 2 weeks. So as soon as we get her bed set up, we are going to switch her to blankets and a pillow instead of the sleep sack. So she's all prepped for that. She knows it's coming. She's very excited. And we already got her a bed set. So we got her a set of sheets and a comforter and a duvet cover, and we're just gonna give her one of our old pillows because I have like a bunch of old pillows in my linen closet because I used to have a problem with buying pillows and then hating them and then storing them in my linen closet. So anyway, we got her a duvet cover that has bunnies on it because she's like super into bunnies. So I think she's gonna be pretty excited. So the short answer to your question is when she's 3 years old. We are moving her out of her sleep sack. And I'll link below to the sleep sack we've been using. We've been using the same one ever since we put her in a sleep sack. We've just been going up in size every time she grows out of it. So it's really great. I use 2 different ones. One's a heavier one and one's a lighter one. So it's good for cold or warm nights. Also, next question, what is the brand of bassinet that I use? So for River, he sleeps in our room right now in a bassinet by himself, but in our room. And the bassinet that I use is the Halo 360 Swivel Bassinet, I think it's called. And yeah, it's fine. It's a bassinet. I got it used on Craigslist for $100. I think it goes new for maybe 200. I'm not sure, but I got it off Craigslist. There are a ton of bassinets on Craigslist or wherever like the used thing is where you are. You can like always find a used bassinet on Craigslist because you only really use them for the first however many months of their life that they're sleeping in your room if you do it that way. And then you get rid of it, because then you eventually move them to a crib, which they're in for much longer. So I say used is the way to go for something like that. So the Halo Bassinet Swivel 360, it's the base model. There's some like nicer models that have like vibration functions and white noise functions, but mine is the most basic level one with no like buttons to push. And it's been great. I kind of particularly wanted that one because you can get a newborn insert that fits into it that makes it like a little bit of a slope on either side before it goes down to the flat surface, which I thought would be good for him when he was like a super little newborn. I don't know. I used it for a little while and then I stopped using it and he was fine sleeping without it in the bassinet. So I don't know how well it worked, but that's the one I have. And the one that I have too, it's meant to be like a co-sleeper. So it's meant to like shove right up against your bed and it swivels around so that you can swivel it so that it's essentially sitting, like the bassinet part is sitting on your bed so that it kind of mimics bed sharing. I don't use it like that though because I don't want it that close to my bed. I don't know. I'm not someone who like really loves having him in my room at night at all. So he's kind of a few feet away from our bed. He's still like right next to my side of the bed, but he's a few feet away. He's not like right next to it. But if that's something that you're looking for like a bed sharing thing, but you still want him in the bassinet, like right on the side of the bed, I bet it'd be really good for it. I haven't actually tried it because I wasn't interested in that function. But yeah, that is what I use. Which baby carrier do I have? This is my baby carrier. It's the Baby Bjorn Mini. And anytime I talk about like a product, I'll link it below just in case you want to check it out for yourself. But this, and in case I get it wrong, but this is the Baby Bjorn Mini, like 3D jersey or something like that. I already have a couple different types of baby carriers, but I kind of wanted to try this one out because Healthnut Nutrition, who's Nicole Goncalves, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, sorry. She's a YouTuber who has a baby and I'm kind of obsessed with her. I really love her YouTube channel. And when she was doing all of her like baby vlogs, this is the carrier that she had and I really liked the look of it. So I put it on my baby registry and my old coworker got it for us. And I've been loving it. I love it so much more than the other carriers I've had and I didn't expect that. I was almost thinking I might return it because I love my old wrap so much, but I like this way more. I use this like exclusively now. So we also have the, what's it called? I don't know, I'll put it on the screen. But we have this other carrier that we had with Lucy. Colin used to use it with her and not me because it's way too bulky for me. The Ergo Baby. It's the Ergo Baby. I can't use it. It's huge on my body. It's just like super bulky and it feels like I'm wearing a backpack and I don't like it. But Colin, who's bigger and taller than me, used it and liked it. He does like this one better though. And then the carrier or the wrap that I liked with Lucy that I wore all the time is the Solly Baby wrap. And that's not a structured carrier. That's just a long piece of rectangular cloth that you wrap around yourself in a very fancy way and you put your baby in it and you carry her or him that way. And I loved that with Lucy. And I used it for him once and it was fine, but then I started using this and I fell like even harder in love with it, so I haven't even gone back to it. But yeah, so it's the Baby Bjorn Mini and I freaking love this thing. Let me see if I can get a better shot for you. So this is what it looks like on. It's kind of a happy medium between a really structured carrier and like something more flexible like a wrap. It's just like jersey, but it's really thick. This folds down so that, I don't know why, but it folds down. It's also a front-facing carrier so that when they're older and you can do front-facing carry, which I was never able to do with my other ones, you can fold that down, I think, and it gives their face some room. So yeah, it's really easy to use. I think at some point I'll do like a little video about how I put it on and stuff like that, and maybe even comparing it to my other wraps. This is the back, and it's super comfortable. I really love wearing this thing. I've said in previous videos that it's kind of a bummer that I have to wear him so often to get him to nap because it can be hard on my back. But really, honestly, this is the most comfortable carrier I've worn. And it's amazing and I love it. I'm so happy I have it. I like highly recommend this one. I love it. Home activities to do with a 6 to 9 month old. It's been a while since I've had a 6 to 9 month old, so I kind of can't remember. But let's see, 6 month old babies. If I remember correctly, I mean like books. like tummy time with books and like toys set up in like a fan around them, I remember was a big hit. This sounds weird, but juggling for them, Lucy freaking loved it when she was about that age. I would set her up on my bed, and well, I did this like once, and it was the first time I ever heard like a real proper like belly guttural laugh, like cracking up kind of laugh from her. And I juggled for her. I know how to juggle. I don't know, it's a thing. And she loved it. So I don't know, like showing them stuff like that, like maybe playing with yo-yos in front of them too. Colin used to yo-yo for Lucy and she really liked it. But reading books, Lucy just loved reading books at that age, and still I mean, she's always loved reading books. So I think that's kind of a big hit no matter what age. Yeah, those are my tips. Learn to juggle for your baby. Baby food. We started Lucy off eating at about 6 months. Her very first food was avocado with a little bit of breast milk mixed in. Her next food was banana. And then after that, it was just like things like sweet potato and mashed up vegetables. I did like what they call cereal, which is pretty much just ground up whole grains that you can mix with water or breast milk or formula. We did that, and that was like a mixture of like oats and like kamut and spelt and like stuff like that. Yeah, so we started her at 6 months. We just like spoon fed her. We didn't like mess with baby-led weaning, which I hear is great, but we just didn't do it. But I might do it with him. I don't know. Baby-led weaning is a whole thing you can look up if you're interested, but it's super messy. So yeah, avocado. Probably gonna be his first food too. Lucy still freaking loves avocado. Yoga routine. What stretches do you incorporate? I'd love to start too. I really love yoga. I really love stretching. I really love a certain type of exercising. I don't love all exercise, and I actually don't even like, okay, I love exercising. I just don't like taking the time to do it, which is common. But with the exception of right now, because I don't have a routine anymore and yet, but my typical morning routine for stretching was kind of a yoga flow that I kind of piecemealed together myself, which included all my favorite stretches and all my favorite yoga positions. And I do hope to film a video of my morning stretching routine. And that way I can kind of take you through what I do and you can actually see it. And maybe I'll even like talk you through it as if it's like an instructional thing, but I am not an exercise or yoga instructor, so don't listen to me. But pretty much I started off with like, I'm acting like I'm about to show you. I do that. I can't with this. But I do like forward folds and like kind of like hip stuff like that and like arm stretching like that. This is so lame. And then like, you know, arm back bends like that and forward. I try to like stretch out my shoulders at first, and then I'll do like a wide-legged forward fold, and then I'll do squats. I'll do like regular squats, and then I'll do like wide-legged squats, and then I will do, what do I do from there? And then I start kind of like my yoga sequence where I'll go to the front of my mat. I do a yoga mat. I use a yoga mat, and I'll go, I don't know the names for any of this stuff. So I'll like put my arms up and then forward fold down and then do halfway up and then all the way down. Dang it, I'm running out of battery. Lame. Let's see how far I can get. And then I'll step back into down dog and do like one of those down dog sequences where you kind of lift one leg up in the air. I think it's called three-legged dog. And then you like bring it through to your front and then you go back up and then you go back down. And then I'll do a warrior sequence. And then I'll do some like on the floor, like leg lungy kind of stretches, including like pigeon and runner's lunge. I'll do that one. And then from there, I'll get on all fours and do cat-cow and bird dog and fire hydrants, which is my favorite name for an exercise ever. And if none of this makes sense to you, sorry. And then from there, I will go into like a child's pose, and then pretty much I'll go on my back. And right now I'm doing a lot of work on my core and my pelvic floor. So at that point, I'll do a whole Kegel routine and I don't know what you call it, but there's this breathing exercise you can do when you have diastasis recti, which is abs separation, which happens super commonly after pregnancy. And it's what people know as like mommy tummy or mommy pooch or whatever. It's your abs separating, and that happens because they had to expand to incorporate your belly when it was big. So I have some ab separation. I have like a single finger ab separation, and so I'm doing these breathing exercises, and they help. I did them with Lucy too, and they were great, where you like breathe in, and then you breathe out, and you suck your belly button into your spine. And then you breathe in without letting that go, and then you breathe out and do it even more. So I do that over and over, and I do like maybe 5 reps of those, and then I do some bridge pose, which is also really good for diastasis recti, or a pelvic floor. I don't know, it's good for something. And then that's pretty much it. That's my ideal right now morning stretching routine. If it doesn't get interrupted, and I'm not doing it every day right now because it's really hard to take 15 minutes, which is about how long it takes me, out of my day because of this whole situation. But if you're interested in starting yoga, I'm going to tell you the same thing everybody probably tells you, is Yoga with Adriene is a really great YouTube channel. I've done most of her videos and I love them. She really got me back into yoga after taking like probably a 10-year hiatus from it, and I love it. I love almost all of her stuff. And she has a nice mix of like quick flow kind of practices and really slow meditative kind of practices. I'm a bigger fan of like a quicker flow type practice that's a little more challenging, as opposed to like a calm, peaceful kind of practice. So she has a nice mix of both. Next is, what is my favorite cocktail to make at home? I just started having cocktails again. I'm 7 months postpartum now, and the big struggle for me with drinking is I want to have like a drink at night after the kids go to bed, before I go to bed, and I don't want to like enjoy a drink only to wake up like 3 hours late after I go to bed to feed him. That would suck. So I haven't really started having any drinks yet. Until the other night, I've had 2 cocktails so far, one on 2 different nights, and it was fine. It worked out pretty okay, but I'm not like diving head first into drinking again or anything. Not that I like drink a ton, but I'm a pretty regular drinker when I do drink, like a drink a night-ish kind of thing, and I do love cocktails. So the one that I made the other night, and it's what I had both times, was, this may sound weird, but it was really good. It's a little bit of kombucha, like any flavor kombucha you want, in a cup. Fill the rest of it, like maybe 1 part kombucha to 3 or 4 parts sparkling water, and a shot of vodka. It's really good. I don't know why. You know why I started doing it? Because I poured myself a kombucha with dinner and then I didn't finish it. So at night I just topped it off with sparkling water and put some vodka in it. And it was like so good. I'm definitely going to keep doing it. But pre-baby, my very favorite cocktail to make at home, and it's pretty much my favorite cocktail ever, is okay, I'm back. My battery died. So I plugged it in, partially charged it while I did some dishes, started some laundry, and got some coffee. And River is still hopefully sleeping for a little while longer, so we've got our fingers crossed. And as I was saying, my favorite cocktail is a Manhattan. I love Manhattans. They're so delicious. I love making them at home, and it's either bourbon or rye with bitters and sweet vermouth. And it's a delicious cocktail. I love it so much. Teach me how to feed myself and my family. I always love to hear about the tasty things you cook and prep. Thank you, Jillian. I don't know, man. I love food and I love cooking. It's like a huge part of my life. Like, my big things that I'm really into include cooking and eating and food. I just love it. I love it as much as I love knitting. I love it as much as I love roller skating. I love it as much as I love books and movies and science fiction. So I spend a lot of time thinking about food. One of the things that I can say that helps me out a whole lot, especially since I had kids, is meal planning. Now, I don't meal prep, but I meal plan. And I never used to do this. Before I had kids, I would just kind of like, I'd be at work and I'd be thinking about what do I want for dinner tonight. And then after work, I'd go to the store and get the stuff I need for that night for dinner. I can't do that anymore. So when I started having kids, I started planning out what I was going to make for the week for dinner. And I would sit down one night, for most likely on the weekend, and I'm starting to do this again. It's a little all over the place right now, but I would go through and in a planner or a calendar or just on a list, I would go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I would list everything I was going to make for dinner on those nights. And then on a separate piece of paper, I make a grocery list for everything I'm going to need for all of those meals. And then I go to the grocery store, buy all that stuff, and then I have everything I need for the entire week. And with any luck, I don't have to go to the grocery store again, which is very helpful when you have kids. Typically, though, we do have to go like one extra time. But luckily, we live like a block away from not my main grocery store, but like my side grocery store. So that helps. But yeah, that's my big recommendation is meal planning. Get into it. Peruse cookbooks. Start discovering your favorite food websites and blogs. And bookmark your favorite recipes and then go through those and add them to your weekly list as you feel. As you know, when I'm making my list, I'll just like think about what I feel like having that week. And typically it ends up being a mix of like my tried and trues, the things that I make a lot, and like some new recipes or ideas that I am inspired by blogs or vlogs or books or whatever. Are there any differences between Lucy's first weeks and River's? Yeah. Lucy started out her first weeks very sleepless and restless and constantly nursing, and River was one of those classic sleepy babies. And he would nurse and he would just fall asleep and I had to like wake him up to keep nursing. And once he was asleep, he was just passed out and I could just kind of toss him wherever and he'd be fine. Lucy, I couldn't do that. If I wasn't holding her, like she would fall asleep while nursing, and if I tried to put her down at all, she would wake up and be like, what the hell? Pick me back up. And River, it wasn't like that. And things are different now. Things are totally different now. But those first like 2 weeks, super different. And what I think it is that I don't think Lucy was getting enough to eat. I mean, I know that's the case because we figured that out. She went through a period of time, like a short period of time, where she wasn't gaining weight the way she was supposed to, which we ended up fixing by supplementing with formula. But that first go around with Lucy, I was not producing enough milk, pretty much. And so she wasn't getting enough to eat. And so I think she was just like constantly trying to get enough food, but not getting it. And I don't think that's happening with River. He's gaining weight really, really well. I'm feeling like breastfeeding is going better and is more productive on my end. So I think that's the big difference. But yeah, he definitely slept better. And also postpartum healing for me felt easier. And my midwives kind of gave me a heads up about this. They're like, this with your second baby, your healing time, your first 2 weeks, you're going to feel a lot better. Like you're going to feel fine. But don't listen to that. You need to rest, pretty much. And with Lucy, after I had her the first 2 weeks, I felt just like wrecked. Just like completely wrecked. And it was very weird having like my body in this weird healing phase that I have never experienced before. And with River, I don't know, I just felt better. Even with the like extreme sleep deprivation, I just like felt more normal. Things didn't feel so surreal like they did with Lucy. I remember the first time I went out in public with Lucy was to take her to her first pediatrician's appointment when she was probably a week old. And it just felt so insane. It was the first time I had left my house. I had gone out into the town I went to downtown Arcata to her pediatrician's office, and I just remember seeing people walking around like life was totally normal, and I was just like, what? How are these people just like living their normal everyday lives? And it just felt surreal those first 2 weeks. But with River, it kind of didn't. I felt more normal, pretty much. So yeah, those are the big differences. What's bringing you joy at the moment? I am gonna I'm gonna tack that onto another question that somebody asked, which is, how's the roller skating going? Roller skating's bringing me joy at the moment. So I started roller skating in 2020. I roller skated for about 5 months, I think, before I had to stop because I got pregnant with River. And just as you've seen, if you saw my last video, I just put my roller skates back on my feet for the first time 2 days ago. And I'm like just instantly back down the rabbit hole, completely obsessed. It's making me so happy. I've only roller skated twice since then. 2 days ago and earlier today during his first nap, I got to put on my skates for probably 15 minutes before he woke up. And actually when he kind of started to wake up, I had my roller skates on. I was in the garage, so I just roller skated through the house into his room and popped the pacifier back in his mouth and then roller skated back to the garage. But then he woke up shortly after that and I had to take him off. But roller skating is bringing me so much joy right now. I just love it so much. It's so much fun, and I love roller skating. And if you're interested in roller skating at all, watch my last video. I will be making more roller skating vlogs. So yeah, I'm so excited to be picking it up again. As I've talked about many times, I was kind of devastated to have to give it up for almost a year, but it's so much fun picking it back up again. And I have only so far done it in my garage, but I hope at some point I can get back out on the streets and on a trail and in parking lots. I probably won't go back to the skate park for a little while because I don't know if I'm back there yet. But anyway, my garage is easy to skate in for now. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get out into the world though, because, you know. But that, roller skating, is bringing me joy. I love it. I love roller skating. I just bought a new pair of roller skates. Stop, what? In my last video, I told you I was looking for used Moxie Jacks. I have Beach Bunnies right now, which are a great roller skate, and I love them, but I've always wanted Moxie Jacks. And I found a used pair on eBay, and I got them last night at 2 in the morning. I put in an offer lower than what she was asking for, and this morning she accepted it, and they're paid for, and they're going to be here on Monday. Stop! I'm so lame. I got a problem. I got a problem with roller skates. How's your healing coming along? Good. I feel mostly healed from giving birth 7 weeks ago. I kind of went through the normal transitions of like I had stitches and those healed up really well. I had bleeding on and off for probably 3 weeks or so, but that's gone and things feel pretty good. I did end up with prolapse, and they checked it, and it's like a recticil prolapse. And if you don't know what that is, you can look it up if you want, but I'm not going to go into it. It sucks. But pretty much that's getting better. Like a lot, it's kind of common to have prolapse pretty soon after you give birth. But with pelvic floor exercises, you can kind of make it better over time, and it's starting to feel better. I've been doing a lot of pelvic floor exercises. I'm making it a huge priority to get my pelvic floor strong again, and it's slow going. It's really slow going. It's really hard to work out your pelvic floor. It's like Kegels are like super easy, but it's a hard thing to do every day as much as you're supposed to do it to really get your pelvic floor and your core really back up to a healthy place. So I've been working on it that way, but I'm on a waiting list for a pelvic floor physiotherapist. There's only one in my podunk rural-ish town. So there's a waiting list, and I got on the waiting list. They told me it was probably going to take like 3 months to get in. So I don't know what that's going to look like. I've never seen a pelvic floor physiotherapist before, but hopefully that'll be good. I don't know. But it's going good, except for the stupid pelvic floor stuff, which happens when you have kids. I noticed you generally seem to eat super healthy, but what are your guilty pleasure foods? What are my guilty pleasure foods? Coffee. I could drink coffee all freaking day long. I'd say my guilty pleasure foods are more the beverages, coffee and alcohol. I love. And let's see. Right now I'm drinking decaf coffee though, and right now I'm mostly laying off of alcohol for the time being. But my choice for alcohol is bourbon or rye. So let's see, what else? Ice cream. I love ice cream, but I like the hippy dippy crunchy ice creams that are like made with like coconut milk and like sweetened with honey and stuff like that. So it's not that guilty. Cereal. I love cereal. I will eat any cereal all day long. I'm looking at my kitchen trying to think about what's in there. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. I don't love like a lot of junk food or processed foods. I love frozen pizza, but I love all pizza. I'd rather eat like a nice pizza, but I will eat a frozen pizza like in a heartbeat. What's the weather like when you're recording this video? It is, I feel bad saying this, it's cloudy and cold and breezy. I hear that there's a heat wave happening, but it's not here. I live on the coast, like right on the coast of Northern California, like way Northern California. And it's been cool. It's been cloudy and cool here. How do you feel as a mom of two? It's awesome and it's so hard. It's gonna get easier, but it's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love their sibling relationship, if you can even call it that yet. Lucy loves River. Like, she loves him. She loves helping with him. She wants to hold him. She's just like, she's so sweet with him. It's really great to watch. How are you so patient and awesome all the time? Also, anything on food is awesome. Thank you. I don't know. I definitely lose my patience sometimes. With me, it comes out in the form of like frustration, especially like in the middle of the night, especially when it comes to like sleep stuff or like getting any me time at all. If like sleep isn't happening or like I'm not getting time for myself ever, I can kind of start to lose my shit a little bit, and it pretty much just comes out in frustration. But I think I'm pretty good at keeping that in check because it's important to me to have my kids not bear the brunt of my frustration. I just think that's, I mean, it's unfair. So I don't know. I keep that in mind and I try to show patience, which really isn't easy with a toddler. Because she doesn't have a lot of patience. Okay, favorite go-to meal? Burrito. Burrito, burrito, burrito. Breakfast burritos, bean, cheese, and rice burritos, burritos with leftover meat. I love burritos. I'm a burrito girl. How many houseplants do you have, and which one is your favorite? Houseplants. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I have like 25 houseplants, I think, and I love them. My favorite is my rubber plant, which is back there. That's it. My finger's on it right there, right there. I love it. I love my rubber plant. It started out as a little guy in a little pot, and I kept up potting it until now it's like in a huge floor pot, and it's getting so big. It's probably 3.5 feet tall. How's Lucy adjusting to being a big sister? Sorry, River. I startled her. She loves it. She loves it. But she's definitely feeling the strain of it. Since River was born, she's definitely been way more sensitive and way more prone to like losing it, you know what I mean? Like the way a 3-year-old might. She's way more sensitive than she was before. And I don't think she really connects it to having a baby in the house, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's definitely coming out like her her adjusting to having a baby around, to sharing me and her dad, is definitely coming out. But she doesn't seem to be doing it consciously, because if you ask her, it's great. She loves him and she loves it. And like I said, she's just super helpful and wants to do what she can with him. And she also just really loves talking about our family now. She'll just like walk around and say, Mama, Dada, Big Girl, River. She refers to herself as Big Girl. And she'll just like say all of our names, like walk around. It's just really cute. It's really sweet. Let's see. Chickens. Someone wants to know about my chickens. Yes, chickens are amazing. I have 3 of them right now. The most I've ever had at a time was 6. And it's great. You have fresh eggs all the time, and I love it. Eggs are so good, and they're so good for you, and it's so nice having wonderful, fresh, just laid chicken eggs. They're so good. They're so good. And chickens are actually really easy. Once you kind of get past the initial setup of getting a coop and fixing up a run for them and making sure everything's secure so that predators can't get to them, like raccoons. Raccoons will steal and eat chickens. Skunks will steal and eat their eggs. They have predators even in like a suburban neighborhood. So they have to be like Fort Knoxed at night. But after the initial like figuring out like how you're going to do your coop and where they're going to live and where they're going to roam, it's like they kind of take care of themselves. They're really easy. All you gotta do is feed them and water them every day. Make sure that stuff is clean and fresh. You clean out their coop like once a week, once every 2 weeks. And diatomaceous earth is great. You sprinkle that everywhere and it keeps parasites off of them. It's been like we've never had a chicken get really sick. We've had them get parasites once, and then we discovered diatomaceous earth and they never got them again. They went away. We've lost 2 chickens to predators, which was super sad both times. But yeah, meat chickens are a whole nother thing, but egg-laying chickens are so easy. After the initial setup, they're cheap. All you gotta buy is food, and they're super easy. They like don't require much work at all, except for feeding them, watering them, putting them away at night. And if you really socialize with them from when you first get them, from when they're either chicks or pullets, depending on when you get them, they can be really friendly to you. Like if you just leave them in their run by themselves and you never interact with them, they'll be pretty skittish. But if you really interact with them hands-on from when you first get them, they'll like really like you, and they'll come up to you and they'll let you pet them, and they'll pretty much act like you are their rooster. It's amazing. It's adorable. You should totally get chickens. If you're interested at all in getting chickens, get chickens. If you can have them. Not everybody can have them. Not everybody has the space for them, and not everybody is allowed to have them. But if you can and you want them, you should just do it. I need dinner inspirations. Where do you find yours? I have a small collection of cookbooks. My favorite food resources on the internet are Serious Eats, The Kitchn, Minimalist Baker, Love and Lemons, what else? Epicurious is really good. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. But those are really, really great resources for like randomly finding recipes to make for dinner or whatever. Love those places. Okay, I am going to leave it there. This little guy is starting to wake up, so thank you so much to everybody who sent me questions to answer on Instagram. If you're not following me yet, feel free to do that. I'm DynamiteTrujillo over there, and sometimes up in my stories, I put up stuff like that for you to contribute to videos or whatever. So if you liked this type of video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please feel free to do that. That would be very wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. You good, River? Gonna be cool? You're gonna be cool. He's cool. I'm right on a creaky spot on the floor. That's no good. Can you hear it? You can hear it. Let's scoot over a little bit.